Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, or Tank12, however you call me, I don't really care, and welcome back to World of Tanks. And today we're actually going to be looking at a replay that I just currently had, and I've been playing my tier 10 vehicles again, since I really don't play that much tier 10, because my main goal is to unlock all the vehicles, and getting all the tier 10s, in the end, I just play the tier 10s, but since there's currently a tank marathon going on for the CS52 Liz, I decided to, start playing my tier 10s again, and it has been a little bit of a refreshing new take on tier 10s, especially since I haven't played a couple of vehicles such as the Leopard 1 in a very, very long time. And this tank certainly is incredible. I'm not sure if I can say that this is the best tier 10 medium tank. I would say it's probably not the best in the sense of being an all-rounder, but in certain categories this tank is certainly, I think, unbeatable in a lot of standards that it sets, especially for its gun handling, its mobility, and its incredibly good view range. This is a tank that sports a 105mm gun and is an incredible good sniper. You get two types of APCR ammo, which unfortunately would love to still have the heat option for premium ammo right there, but right there we balance the EBR 105. That's incredible. Nobody wants to see something like that happening, right? Yeah, APCR is the premium option as well as the standard option for your vehicle. And this tank is an incredible long-range fighter. I think the accuracy is something along the lines of 0.21 or something like that at 100 meters. That is incredible. This thing is so accurate. I think the only tank that is more accurate than the Leopard 1 is probably the STRV. And what is very, very special about this tank is that it also has high explosive shells, which do have about 105mm pen. And you'll see in just a second I'll be reloading high explosive, because I know that the FV4005 will not have enough armor to withstand 105mm of pen. And look at that, 549 damage dealt. That is also something new that has happened with this tank. Just for clarification, I'm not firing gold. The gold shells are actually on the first spot, because I swapped it around with this tank, because the amount of bad misses I had, I tended to swap around the premium shells, and I'm firing standard shells right here. And this gun now has 420 alpha damage. Now 420 alpha damage is, at tier 10 for a medium tank, pretty damn impressive, especially if you're running a 105mm gun. Now we're not running a 120mm gun, we're running a 105mm gun, which is really, really good at dealing with basically any target. Now, one way to make this tank better would probably be to give it heat back as the premium ammo type. But to be fair, at the moment I think this tank is rather well balanced. You do have top speed. You can get up to, I think, over 70 kilometers per hour right here. We're going downhill. It's almost 80. And your armor, on the other hand, is basically a joke. It's paper, and as soon as you get lit up, you are basically toast. That makes this tank one of the hardest medium tanks to play as well at tier 10. Because you constantly have to work with your speed and with your camouflage. That is what this tank is also pretty damn good at. It's an incredibly good sniper that is mostly very accurate. Unfortunately, right there we do kind of miss the object 277. But this tank certainly is able to do a lot of things that other tier 10s are not able to do. And if you think about vehicles of this kind of caliber, I think the only tank that comes close to it as a medium with very similar characteristics and specifications is probably the STB1 and maybe the K91. The K91 does also have a very, very powerful and accurate gun, but that tank is absolutely not able to have the top speed that this tank has. And right here, like, if you're able to get around here on the flanks, if you know the weak spots of the enemy, 276 millimeters of pen with, you know, APCR with your standard shells is more than enough. And right here, this is the first amount, or first shot of damage that we take. You have to be conservative with your HP on this tank, and you learn that by, you know, playing very cautiously. And right here you can see that we have E100, basically free damage farm for us. Now we can move on the object 705A. Same goes for the other heavy tanks that are behind him. And right here you can see that people still like to aim for you because they know you have no armor, so it's very easy to pen you. But our damage total at this moment already is 5,167, and it really shows that this tank has massive potential, because the rate of fire is also pretty damn good. So all in all, total damage 6,589 with the spotting. If you can play this tank as a sniping kind of medium, where you can decide in the end when to push and utilize your HP effectively, I think this is probably the best tier 10 medium tank in the game, because the gun values, the alpha damage, the penetration, the rate of fire are all very unique, and it shows you the incredibly well designed and thought out German tank design that even went on after the war with the German Leopard 1. Which its predecessor or successor, the Leopard 2, is still in active duty today after 50 years in, like, I don't know how many different variants. But it's pretty crazy. Germans definitely know what to do with their tanks, and very impressive indeed. I think this is definitely my favorite tier 10 medium tank to play at the moment. I think the favorite spot for myself is probably still going to the M48, just because I've played that many games in it. But this tank certainly comes very close to it, to being the favorite all around since the recent buffs.